James had been put on goods work. During this time, he was quiet and not as loud and boastful. One evening, he returned to the sheds after pulling a long goods train.
Man, I'm tired. Busy day, James.
Indeed, Edward. Goods traffic has picked up substantially.
I can tell. The length of those trains has increased drastically, though you're handling it very well, James.
Though you could quit being whiny about these trains.
Henry!
Oh, tell me I'm wrong. If I can do my work without fuss, so can James.
You don't do your work without fuss.
I do too.
You complained it was too hot to leave the sheds and we nearly had a repeat of the tunnel incident.
Not only that, but my paintwork. It's become absolutely filthy.
I'll need a good polishing.
Oh, pipe down, little James. Nobody wants to see you anyways. They'll all be too busy looking at me.
That's enough from you, Gordon. I'm sick of your rude and snide comments.
Funny how you think you're able to talk out of turn to me. I'm fastest and
best, and you pull the express. We don't need you to recite it over and over again.
How rude. Good evening, engines. Oh, good evening, sir. Good evening, James. Well, first off, I wanted to come and congratulate you, James, for your excellent work on the goods trains.
Oh, thank you, sir.
You've worked very hard, unlike some engines I could mention, which is why tomorrow I'm entrusting you with a very special train.
Special train, sir? Coaches or trucks?
Trucks.
Should have expected that.
It's very important, James. The goods in question will be for a major company. If you do well on this, then we'll be entrusted with this company's contract from here on out.
I got it, sir. I won't disappoint you, sir.
I know you won't, James. Anyways, that'll be all for now. Good night, engines. So Topham Hatt walked away. James was excited, being entrusted with a special train.
Well, it's about time I got to pull a special train.
What's so important about goods?
Goods work is very important. It's what most railways rely on. Passengers are important too, but goods work isn't something to be scoffed at. You should know, they don't call it Gordon's Hill for nothing. Disgraceful.
Can you all pipe down? I have real work to do tomorrow.
Henry's right. We should all get some sleep, especially you, James.
You're right, Edward. The engines went to sleep, though James was the last to go to sleep, brimming with excitement. The next day, James was up bright and early to shunt the goods train. Once it was ready, James backed down. Before he set off, Edward wanted to speak to James.
James, you seem nervous.
Well, I didn't think the train would be this long. It's got me worried.
Worried about what?
I've never been good with gradients. I struggle with as a banker.
Oh dear, I understand the feeling. Don't worry, I know you'll do fine. Just focus and don't try showing off like the last time.
I won't. Trust me, Edward. Right. Here we go. See you later, Edward.
See you later, James.
James set off with a long goods train. He struggled at first, but began making good time along the line. However, the trucks weren't making it easy.
Help us! We're being pulled by a red monster!
Hey! Careful, James, you don't have bootlaces at your disposal.
Ugh, these demons.
James passed through Wellsworth and began to pick up speed in preparation for Gordon's Hill. James began the climb up Gordon's Hill. The trucks, being insufferable as usual, decided to hold back.
Hold back! Hold back!
Oh no, you don't! Come on! Come on, old boy, you've got it! I've got it! Ha! I've done it! I've done it! Wait a... Oh, come on! What's wrong? They've done it again! They've broken away! Come on!
What is that? This is James's goods train. But how did it... Oi, you lot! Where do you get off breaking away from me? This was my chance to prove to Sir Topomat that I'm useful. James? Oh, Edward, what are you doing here? Pulling a local passenger train, but what happened? The trucks broke away from me. They were holding back. I see. Do you want some help? I could give you a push. No thank you, Edward. I'm going to do this on my own. Alright, James. I believe in you.
The coupling was fixed and James set off with the train. This time he was determined to make it up the hill. Howled. Oh no, you don't! Just then James felt a surge of strength. Ha! I've done it! I've actually done it! James coasted down the hill, proud of his accomplishment. He arrived at Bower-in-Furness and dropped off the goods train. In the evening, he returned to the sheds feeling elated. Guess who pulled a goods train successfully?
Yes, good job, James.
From what I hear, you experienced some runaway.
Henry, let James have his moment.
Or did it so well, perhaps I could pull the express?
Ha ha!
The express? Don't make me laugh. Have you seen your paintwork lately? Nobody would ride behind you. Besides, you put a hole in the brake pipe of the last coaches you pulled. You're too reckless. I am not. You are. But for your information, and that's another thing. You talk too much, little James. A fine, strong engine like me has something to talk about. As I've said before, I'm the only engine who can pull the express. When I'm not there, they need 2 engines. Think of that. I've pulled expresses for years and have never once lost my way. I seem to know the line by instinct.
If you were a wise engine, you'd know it's the signalman who works the points to make sure we run on the right lines.
Yes, well,
it's not exactly hard to get lost in the main line. I mean, imagine if you went down a branch line or something.
The bridges would crack under his weight for a start. Be quiet.
Pay him no mind, James. I'm sure that in due time you'll get your chance to pull the express.
I hope so, Edward. I really hope so. The engines all went to sleep. The next morning, they were all up bright and early, except for James, who was still asleep. What a wonderful day to pull the express. Gordon, the sky is cloudy and looks as if it's about to rain. That's a recipe for wheel slip. Scared of the rain, are you, Henry? Don't go hiding in tunnels now. I hate you. What is it? Wake up, little James. Gordon, don't do that. Rather skittish, aren't you, James? But when you blow your whistle like that, I'm not just going to fall back to sleep. Oh, well, I just wanted you to know it's nearly time for the express to leave. And? Oh, I just wanted to inquire about what you were doing. Odd jobs? Ah, well, we all have to begin somewhere, don't we? Now run along and get my coaches, and don't be late. Yeah, whatever, Gordon. James left to fetch Gordon's coaches. However, the yardmaster stopped him. Not these ones, James. The coaches Gordon is pulling to leave the station. James was confused. But as he went over to the sidings by Knapford, he gasped. Pullman coaches? There must be some VIPs today. We'll make sure to be extra careful with these. James shunted the coaches into the platform. Oh, I wish I were going away. I should love to pull the express and go flying along the line. James moved away from the coaches and Gordon backed down onto the train. Look at me now. Goodbye, little James. See you tomorrow. Ugh, now to deal with the trucks. However, James was pleasantly surprised. He got his paintwork cleaned and polished. After this, he prepared to get back to shunting. However, he heard a very familiar whistle. Is that Gordon? It was Gordon. He was trying and failing to go unseen as he pulled into the station.
Hello, Gordon.
Oh, James!
Rather skittish, aren't we, Gordon? Well, when you sneak up on engines like that... Is it tomorrow already, Gordon? Well, no.
Then... No, tell me you didn't. You didn't lose your way, did you, Gordon?
Look, I didn't lose the way, it was lost for me. I had been switched off the main line onto the loop, and I had to go all around and back again.
Perhaps it was instinct.
Why, you little... We want our money back.
The passengers, who were naturally furious, were demanding their money back. Sir Topham Hatt, who was greedy as always, decided to not refund them their money and give them a new train instead. Now, James, seeing as Gordon lost his way the first time, I need you to pull the express.
Me, sir? Really, sir?
Yes, you're our only option.
Well then, sir, I won't disappoint you, sir.
Good to hear. The express will stop at Wellsworth for our banker, Grosvenor Gate, Vickerstown, and then Bower-in-Furness.
Yes, sir. No problem, sir.
James buffered up to the express. Sir Topham Hatt called over from the opposite platform. Do your best, James. James blew his whistle and set off. He was making up for lost time. He flashed by stations, appearing as a scarlet blur to others. He arrived at Bower-in-Furness on time, feeling tired but triumphant. He returned to Knapford later in the day, where Sir Topham Hatt was waiting. Well done, James. You made up for lost time and you were triumphant in the end.
Thank you so much, sir. I enjoyed it.
Would you like to pull the express more often?
Oh, sir, yes, sir.
Wonderful. Now Gordon will collect your coaches and then you can go over to the sheds.
Sir, is that a joke?
Aha, see for yourself. James was confused when all of a sudden Gordon buffered up to his coaches.
Oh, this is too good. Enjoying being a shunter, Gordon?
Not exactly. I've tried teaching the trucks manners.
Trying to teach the trucks manners? Haven't you ever heard of the impossible before? So, anything you want to say to me?
Like what?
Oh, I don't know. Congratulations on pulling the express.
The day I say that, there will be a man on the moon.
Anyways, take these away from me, dear chap. I've had a long day and need to rest at the sheds.
Oh, the indignity.
James had settled in well on Sodor after this. He handled both goods and passengers, and while he could still be narcissistic and overconfident, the engines have learned that's simply his nature, and at the end of the day, he's a really useful engine.